Hey, hello there, Rutger Diergaarde. I'm going to try and explain a little bit about the five principles of Krishnamacharya's yoga. Mm, Maybe first, let me get a quick story out. I've been doing yoga for a very long time, maybe 19 years, more or less, starting with Iyengar and then eventually just sort of going off and doing my own thing. And I think for a long time, coming from a physiotherapy background, I found it difficult to marry and unite my yoga ideals, the straight lines in the Iyengar philosophy, with what my patients and my clients really could do. So I guess I already had a feeling like something doesn't add up. There's got to be a different way of dealing with things. And luckily, about a year ago, I came upon this heart of yoga philosophy. You could say it is. It's a means to do yoga, which is you can apply it. Applicable. It's applicable. That was the word I was looking for, to a lot of different other forms of yoga. The five principles of Krishnamacharya's yoga are very much aimed at the breath. Everything evolves and revolves around the breath rather than the poses. And since I've started doing that, things have changed for me. I literally have noticed much more of a peace inside myself and things that I haven't noticed in all those years prior in doing yoga. Um, Before it was a much more physical thing for me to do, and it has become more of a mental sort of practice now, connecting my body up and body and mind, I would say, the whole thing, to what is nature really, connecting up to myself, feeling connected to whatever is out there around us, and being much more united somehow to other people, nature in itself, but even inside a city, I somehow feel that I can be more myself and connect with people rather than being so anonymous, which often happens in cities. So, yeah, what are these five principles of Krishnamacharya? Well, first of all, number one is that the breath is movement and movement is the breath. There is no distinction. Rather than doing a yoga pose and uh, doing a bit of breathing with it, it all becomes one, and that is really important. Um, the second one is that the breath envelops the movement. As you can see, I've got a little fly keeping me company here as well. So yeah, the movement of the breath itself is always a tiny little bit longer than the movement of the body. So say for instance, if I want to raise my arm, you start with an inhale, then start raising the arm, you finish raising the arm, and then you finish that last little bit of the inhale. And that's with every exercise that you can think of. The third principle is that the breath comes from above as receptivity. You inflate the chest and receive that air. That's the sort of the feminine part of things. And then the exhale is strength. It's the muscles in the abdominal region that tense and gently push the air back up and out. The masculine part of this whole. You can see a little fly is trying to make me annoyed here. We'll try to keep calm as it tickles me here and there. Anyway, let's continue. Fourth point. The fourth point goes already a little bit deeper in the philosophy of yoga. It says that asana creates bandha. Bandha is, for instance, the tension that we generate in our abdominal region. Asana, all the postures are there to, that we do create these bandhas, and the bandha then serves the breath. It helps us to, for instance, exhale. Very much an intricate play there. And the fifth point is that all of these things together, asana, bandha, pranayama, everything together done in a proper way leads us eventually to a more meditative state. And meditation is pretty much impossible to just practice. You don't just sit and then boom, you have a blank mind. The idea is that through the practice of asana and the breathing and your focus that you need for that, your pure concentration, you start blocking things out more. You're very much in line with your practice, that eventually things just start to flow. You're just in the zone, so to speak. Now, that's the meditative state you're going to get when you practice in this way. And eventually that really helps us to generate more peace in our everyday life. So yes, those are those 5 principles. We've been talking about it a lot in my classes the last few weeks, but there in my half-hour classes, in my body equity yoga therapy classes, it's very difficult to go a bit deeper into these principles, and I thought it would be nice to have either a podcast, as I'm recording both audio separately and I'm making this video, to get a bit of an idea of what my classes really are about, what the principles are behind the class. And of course we look at the physical part. I am a physiotherapist in the end. I do want to help everybody having a healthy body to get nice and old with eventually, hopefully. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. We can combine these principles and still work at having strong, flexible, healthy bodies within your capacities, your age group, your health, everything. With all those individual differences, we can still make it work. Okay, so that's it for me. I hope this was informative. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always direct them to me. WhatsApp, Messenger, even on Patreon itself. There's always a way to get to me. Okay? Hope to see you soon again. And enjoy your yoga practice. Namaste.